Hello, my name is Earl Imes, and I'm one of the historians working on the Front Porch public art project and oral histories. The Front Porch is accountable to the entire Lower Neuse River community, with Kinston, North Carolina as the epicenter. The project invites everyone in these communities to share their genealogy and local history through public art on the Front Porch. Of course, the topic of conversation are those people of direct Indian descent and or mixed Native American ancestry, particularly of African and European descent. Individuals or organizations who identify with this heritage are encouraged to participate. Presenters are asked to share art, artifacts, documents, photographs, and oral histories at special events which will add value to the public art. The 1901 Building Group and Sutton Economic Development were chosen as one of the 20 semifinalists for the Z. Smith Reynolds Inclusive Public Art Grant. With the planning grant of $5,000, the organization produced an interior version of the Front Porch, a replica, so to speak, and it was done as a winter iteration of the Front Porch at the 1901 building for Black History Month of 2019. And those presenters were inclusive of the project manager and president of the 1901 group, Ms. Artsy Chotsy, who shared her program, My People from Fort Barnwell, and her history of Tuscarora and Black and White mix. And then Ms. Aaliyah Yisrael, who's the president of Family Support Network NorthCarolina.org, she presented who were the original Native Americans, Hebrews to Negroes, which alluded to contact with indigenous peoples by Africans before Columbus. Brenda and Ella J. Stewart, the co-founders of Sisters Front Porch Production and Children's Theater and Performance Company of Kinston, North Carolina, presented Let Me Tell You About My People, which was an oral history of their 84 years of family reunions. Their father, who was a renowned sharecropper in Harnett County and Lenoir County, not only fed his 12 children, but fed entire communities with not only food, but wisdom. Mr. David T. Roberts, an artist from Jones County, shared I'm from Jones County, and his lineage was that of Tuscarora and Black and White mix, and yet his story as an artist was that of a reformed prison person to a contributing civilian, having served 35 years in state and county jails. Mr. Robert Washington, the official photographer for the Front Porch Project, and also a United States Army Vietnam veteran, gave an outstanding genealogy and history of the Wade family of Browntown in Lenoir County. And then there's Miss Susie Sutton, who is the president of Sutton Economic Development and the Project Economic Development Officer. She shared a literal Front Porch story with her granddaughter entitled Let Me Braid Your Hair, Child. She thought they were Cherokee and had been told they were Cherokee, but growing up in Wayne County, she later discovered the Cherokee were in the mountains and not the coastal plain. And then Mr. Eric Cantu shared information from his lineage. Mr. Cantu is the president of the G.I. Joe Museum located between Kinston and Pink Hill, North Carolina, and chairman of Salute. Then we had Mr. Clement Fig Jones, who's a famous musician on the music trail of Eastern North Carolina and is also known as the hype man for James Brown and Otis Redding. He presented genealogy that included mixed Tuscarora, Black and White, as well as a photograph of himself with his mama. And the night ended with 2018 North Carolina Heritage Award winner, Mr. Robert H. Dick Knight, sharing a story about his genealogy and history called My Story is from Georgia to Florida to North Carolina. This was a magnificent rendition of the Front Porch interior version. If the grant is awarded, the Front Porch Inclusive Public Art Project will be installed on one of the highest bluffs overlooking the Neuse River in the city of Kinston. The site was selected because of the historical relationship to the Neusiok Indians who were part of the Tuscarora Confederacy. Kingston, North Carolina was established on that same site in 1762 by British colonial rule and named for King George III of England. The G was removed from Kingston after the American Revolution. The front porch will be situated along the Mountains to Sea Trail and will make a prominent public art display. The project also intends to install summer plantings and foliage to accent the public art and serve as a backdrop for outside iterations of the Front Porch Living History events, as well as historic demonstrations performed by historical reenactors and artists. The project director has been in consultation with administrators with the Mountain to Sea Trail, and the North Carolina Park Service will be poised to partner with the Front Porch Project. We also expect to attract many tourists to see the art and the complimentary scenery. Programming for that site will be mainly directed for the temperate months. The project will continue the indoor iteration of the front porch at the historic 1901 building every Black History Month. The Front Porch Inclusive Public Art Project will encourage local and outside people and organizations to visit Kinston, North Carolina to see the project among the other sights and sounds of the city. The project design alludes to Native and African American influences that will inspire conversation, thought, and hopefully more artists to share tangible and spoken word art about our shared history as a city, state, and nation. The public art will be visible by the Neuse River Trail so that local neighbors and residents, and even those fortunate enough to see the art flying over Kinston, should be able to view it. The project will also create an interest and groundswell to see the project evolve during the various stages of construction and growing season, with an accent guarding planting native trees like our state longleaf pine tree, the bald cypress, which were native in the Neuse River, as well as sable palmettos, which are now extinct from that part of the Neuse River. The sunflower accent garden art will also create an annual spectacle every summer. Live front porch iterations from artists, historians, and reenactors will also highlight the summer festivities. During the winter months, or the dormant growing season, longleaf pines, trunks of bald cypress, and palm tree green will complement the front porch public art for a unique historical winter scene. The tourists and locals who do not wish to brave the elements can look forward to the indoor front porch iteration. This project is slated to be completed in late 2019, early 2020. The Front Porch Public Inclusive Art Project on the original site of the Neusiok Indian Village, overlooking the Neuse River, which is its namesake, and historic Kingston, North Carolina, established 1762, and still functioning today as a multicultural center for community and for economic and social development.